All right, I think I remember how to do this. I just got everything set up after having had it all torn down because I was in Las Vegas for NAB. Doesn't have a lot to do with vinyl records, but more with my main channel, Final Cut Pro video editing. Anyway, today, picked up this DVD a little while back, Tears for Fears, Songs from the Big Chair on DVD, and we're going to throw that on the background and hopefully not get copyright hit. Of course, I'll dispute it. Like I always do, but let's get this going and then we'll sit down and I'll have you watch all the flip through videos I have from some estate sales, some other stuff I forgot. I've got a bunch of cassettes here. I don't think I'm going to go through them because they're pretty standard 8 tracks, and then of course some records, including some pretty good jazz records that I'll share with you. Yeah, some good ones that I was surprised, including one that is really, really good. There we go. Scenes from the Big Chair. Okay, so scenes from the Big Chair going, and this haul is a kind of a collection of different sources, and I've got some video for all of it, like I said, but let's go through the flip through videos. I'm just going to run all of them and then recap all the records that I got. I'll show you what I'm keeping, what I'm going to take to Homer's for a quick flip, and what I'm going to put in the shop where I consign a bunch of vintage stuff, a shop called Lost here in Omaha. This has to go down as one of the most awkward setups for a vinyl record flip through. I'm at the end of a credenza right next to the entrance to this bedroom, and there's no place to put records that I'm selecting. So I kind of stack them to the side here, and that works temporarily. But obviously as I go through them more and more, that's going to be difficult. So you're going to see a lot of awkwardness. It's probably going to frustrate you. There's a lot of records that are backwards. I ended up taking all the records over to the bed and breaking them up and going through them a second time, which I did not film. So my apologies that you're having to look at the back of the records, but these estate sales, this one had a huge line. It was super busy, tons of people there, and I was very fortunate to be the only one at this time who was going through the records. Almost missed a good one here. Bound to happen. Sorry about that.
Oh, you're fine on the film too. I didn't knock them all down. Actually, stuff downstairs and not upstairs. You've been in it? Yeah, I've been in it. Yeah.
Hey, Mark. Is it?
Yeah.
What they have on it?
950. I mean, it's a nicer fake.
I had a feeling. Did you get any of the furniture? You got the speakers?
CS99.
Nice.
Someone got a stereo in the garage.
Yeah. How about the table set? That table set. The Herman Miller chairs and white table.
It's like a knockout thing. Probably.
Yeah. I was wondering what. I don't. Oh.
It's available now.
What is it?
It's available.
Oh. Sadly, it doesn't fit my house. Like. Oh, yeah. Excellent. Oh, that's okay. Yeah. Now, as I was leaving, there were some more records out in the garage. This Roberta Flack didn't have the vinyl in it, though. And all of these records, I think, were priced at $2 each. That Simon & Garfunkel didn't have any vinyl in there. So there's a good little story here out in this garage. I'm going through this visible stack of records, and there are more records, but you can't see them. There are some plastic bins, and like an idiot, I didn't investigate further. We had free reign to open up bins and look into stuff, and there was another woman there who was grabbing some cool stuff. She had a good eye, and her young son was with her, and she opened up one of the bins and found a great collection of records. There was an original Star Wars soundtrack with the poster inside in really nice condition, Rocky soundtrack, a lot of 80s stuff like ZZ Top and, you know, some classic rock stuff, all just really good staples, and I missed out on all of those. She definitely got the best records of sort of the more common stuff that sells well at a record store, even though I got the best jazz records. But I did end up finding a few more hidden spots with additional records, and you'll see the flip throughs for all that here in a little bit. So this is what's left of the bin that she got all the great stuff out of. I already went through this off camera. There was nothing good in there. This is her stack. You can see John Denver, Greatest Hits, Rocky. Again, these aren't like earth-shattering records, but they were all just solid staples. And then I found another stack of records in a bin, and I think there's even one more bin of records that I might have found. I can't remember, but check this out.
Well, somebody put their plate or their like pot up there of mud. You want me to start checking them out?
These keep those over here for you?
You go for it.
That's fine. Okay, so how many?
I've already got that one. So thanks for watching the flip through. Let me know if you saw anything in there that it didn't appear that I grabbed that I should pay attention to the next time I hit up an estate sale or a thrift store. But let's get started. This one I didn't have in the video, but I just picked this up at an estate sale. They had a ton of polka records, but this is Elvis, Let's Be Friends, and it's on Pickwick, but it's sealed, never been opened. Not a super exciting find, but definitely one that is worth grabbing. And I will take that one to Homer's for a quick flip. And this one was at a flea market that I went to. There's a monthly flea market, and I didn't get too many records there, but I got a few. And this one was $1, and it's in pretty rough shape as far as the jacket goes, but it's one that I hadn't seen before. It's a heavy metal band called Rough Cut, more like hair metal, glam rock. This is a promo. I haven't cleaned it yet, but it was in pretty good shape. Plastic inner sleeve. It's on Warner Brothers. I would say this is probably going to end up being a VG record. So not bad. And the again, the jacket itself is much rougher. It's got all kinds of tears on it, some dust and dirt, so that needs to get all cleaned up and ready. This one I think I'm going to take to Lost and sell on consignment. Since I only paid $1 for it, I don't need to get my money back right away, and this one is, you know, one of those cooler, unique finds that might draw some attention to the shop. And then the rest of these, I think, were the flea market as well. This is Sheila E. And this is in really, really good condition. It's part of why I paid up a little bit for these. This was $5, but the vinyl is in like mint condition. A little dusty, but mint. And then VG Plus on this cover. It's got a little bit of some water discoloration at the top. But other than that, I mean, there's hardly any corner dings. Really, really nice copy of that. And again, that'll go in the shop Lost where I consign. I'm just trying to stock a little bit more stuff that's late 80s, hip hop, R&B, stuff like that. And then this one is 5-star silk and steel. I think I can just kind of on average get about $10 a piece for these, especially with it being in such good condition. This one's on RCA. Again, vinyl's like mint, worst case scenario, near mint. These records aren't worth a ton, but I just think that this is kind of an area of higher demand and low supply that warrants about $10 for one of these records. And then this one, I think I have 2 copies in the shop, but this one comes up, of course, all the time. David Bowie, Let's Dance. This I paid $5 for. A little bit of discoloration on the jacket up there, but otherwise really, really nice shape. Vinyl, mint condition. So I'll be able to, you know, price this one probably $15 to $20. And then the gentleman at the flea market took some of the records that were a bit more desirable in his opinion, and priced them up to $10. But again, they're in such great condition, I couldn't pass it up. But we got Michael Jackson, Off the Wall, and he has one of these sealable record sleeves on there. I didn't even check the vinyl because I knew because of the other ones it was going to be mint. I've sold Off the Wall at Lost a few times, so I'll put that one in for consignment as well. And then Michael Jackson's Thriller. This is a later copy because it does say co-produced by Michael Jackson. But, you know, these are $20 to $30 all day. And if this is in near mint condition, I'll be able to get closer to $30 for it. And it usually sells pretty quickly. And then I think this one I'll probably take to Homer's. I actually have a copy of this, and I think it's probably in a little bit better condition maybe, but actually I don't think it is. So I'm going to have to double check. So I'll set this one aside. The jacket on both is in really bad condition, but this is Blue Note Live at the Roxy. This has Donald Byrd, Earl Klug, Jerry Brown, Ronnie Laws, Gene Harris, Carmen McRae, Bobby Hutcherson, Alphonse Mouzon, and John Lee. This isn't worth a ton, especially in this condition, but the vinyl itself was in really good shape, and I think I only paid like $1 or so for this record. So I'll clean it up and then double check my copy and then think about upgrading with it in my collection. This one, again, no big deal. Just a kind of a cool soundtrack, Charade by Henry Mancini. This one I will take to Homer's. Vinyl is in VG Plus condition, so really nice copy there. And then we have Shadowfax Watercourse Way. There's a few Shadowfax records I picked up in the past, but I haven't had this one before. This one is on, what label is this? ABC? Yeah, and that is a beautiful copy, VG Plus, near mint minus, really, really nice copy. That one will go to Homer's. And then this one was just more interesting, I think. This one is Music of the Sioux and the Navajo. It's not worth a ton, but I like to take records like this to Homer's because they're kind of off the beaten path. This one's in really nice condition for a library version. Must not have got checked out a ton. But this one I'll take to Homer's and definitely make a little bit of money on that one. And then I have a sealed record here, and more one of the bag type steals. But this one was funny, and I thought, you know, it's worth it because it's sealed. But this is Bass Ackwards, Eli Bass. I don't know if it went by Bassy or Bass, but I assume with the joke Bass Ackwards that he goes by that. So this one, again, completely sealed, never been opened, and I'll take that one into Homer's as well. A little bit of 80s here. Double check. Yeah, 1988. We got Michael W. Smith. Not quite my vibe as far as 80s music goes, but I know this will do well at Homer's. This is, like, again, VG Plus, near mint minus. Really beautiful, clean copy of this album. So we'll take that one in the record shop for a quick flip as well. I hate when these get stuck. Come on. All right, and then the other Michael Smith, the big picture. This one I've grabbed numerous times, and it usually goes to Homer's. I think it sells between like $7 and $12. It's usually up there a little bit. Vinyl is beautiful and pristine. I don't even want to clean it because it's so nice. Another sealed record. This is Distant Thunder by Checkfield. I've picked this album a few times, but never sealed. I've had it where the bag is still on there, but it's always opened up. This is, I think, is like around a $10 record, so I'll take that one to Homer's as well. And then we got the Doobie Brothers, The Captain and Me. This record, whenever I find it, is always trashed. But this one's in really nice shape, gatefold, and then the vinyl, got the original inner sleeve. Vinyl needs a little cleaning, but probably VG Plus on this one. That one will go to Homer's as well. And then this one, I don't know why I picked this up. It's not worth all that much. It had a little stamped... a stamp on the corner, so I don't know if this one was sent back to the label, but this is Nitty Gritty Dirt Band, All the Good Times. Jacket's in really, really nice shape. I think this was $2 at the estate sale where I grabbed it, and the vinyl is in VG Plus condition, maybe VG with a few scuffs on here, but a really nice copy of that record. And then we have the quadraphonic version. I don't even think I looked up the value. This might have been $2 of Poco's Crazy Eyes. Quadraphonic stuff is usually a little bit more valuable, and I think this was, again, only $1 or $2, so I'm like, forget it, I'll get it. This one's a little dirty, needs to be cleaned, but that one will go to Homer's as well. And then this one, I was at the estate sale, and I was in the garage going through the next round of records, and I thought I had gone through them all, but this lady came up and opened up a bin, and it was full of records, and she pulled out the Star Wars soundtrack, Rocky, Electric Light Orchestra, a bunch of just kind of 70s and early 80s staples. She glanced over this one, though, and missed it, so I picked it up. It's Jackson 5 Greatest Hits. I'll probably put this one in Lost and sell on consignment. Missing the inner sleeve, but the vinyl's in really good condition. So we'll put that one into the shop and see what we can do with it. I did find another bin at that estate sale in the garage, and I went through it first and got some living stereo records that are interesting. This is Music to Break Any Mood, Dick Shorey's new percussion ensemble. Kind of a fun cover there. Got the original plastic inner sleeve, and the vinyl, I think, is, VG Plus condition. So that was a nice pickup. I try to get those living stereo records that are a little out there. There's so many different ones, but these were worth a little bit more. Next one is Eddie Kano and his sextet, Deep in a Drum. These were worth, like, I don't know, close to $10. So they'll go to Homer's and I think do well there. This one's VG Plus. Nice jacket. Jacket's in good condition. Some of these are just a touch musty because they were out in the garage, but not terrible. And then we have Enoch Light presents Spaced Out. Really nice high gloss gatefold cover here. I think this one was worth about $10. This one will go to Homer's as well. Vinyl, VG Plus condition. Needs to be a little bit cleaned up, but pretty good overall. And this one is, jazz, not worth a ton. The Cat, The Incredible Jimmy Smith, arranged and conducted by Lalo Schifrin on Verve. I've pulled this one a couple times. It's not worth a ton, I think under $5, but for $2, it's, kind of one of those staples of people who are just starting to collect jazz. They get excited to see Verve, Jimmy Smith. This one was Maynard Ferguson, MF Horn, and MF Horn 2, which MF stands for Maynard Ferguson. Nice gatefold copy. Really good shape, double LP, and the vinyl, VG Plus on these. So those are good jazz staples. Got another Jimmy Smith on Verb. Jimmy Smith, Any Number Can Win. Really nice shape. Very good condition on this. Jimmy Smith and the Jaguar on the back. Not a double LP, but the vinyl on this one, original inner sleeve, VG Plus as well on the Verve label. So that was a good pickup. And then I've had this one actually recently. We've done this on the channel before. Stan Getz music from the soundtrack of Mickey 1. One of you in the comments recommended hanging on to this one. I've listened to it. It's just not, it's cool. It's just not my thing to have in the collection when I have limited space. But we're on the MGM label. Vinyl is VG Plus, near mint minus, really clean copy, and the jacket's in pretty good shape too. Another staple of any thrifting, Taste of Honey, Martin Denny. Always grab this one because it's, you know, just regularly desired. Bachelor pad, you know, kind of stuff. Mid-century modern, VG Plus on the vinyl. Pretty good shape. And then we're getting into some better jazz stuff, some more interesting jazz stuff. This is not obviously straight jazz, but more sort of world music. But this was at that estate sale where the woman kind of went through those bins and jumped ahead of me. But I think this record was in one of the bedrooms with some other jazz records. But this is Olatunji, Drums of Passion. Not worth a ton, but I just thought it was cool. And it's in the original plastic inner sleeve, Columbia 6i label. And this one was VG Plus, near mint minus. Really, really nice shape on that record. And then this one, I was like, man, this one's going to be worth a lot. And it ended up not being worth very much. I think under $5. But this is Street Scene by Jay White. Split at the bottom, unfortunately. No original inner sleeve. And this one, actually, I'm not going to be able to take to Homer's because it has some pretty serious scratches on it that are going to not make it really playable. So, wasted $2 on this one. The scratches are just terrible. You can feel them. So that one is going to have to just go to the thrift store. And then this one I have actually. I picked this one up at Grapefruit one day when it was in the bins, the used bins, for just, I think, $10 or so. The jacket needs to be cleaned up, but we got Ray Charles, Genius plus Soul equals Jazz. On the gatefold, it's on the Impulse label. And this vinyl is original plastic inner sleeve, but the vinyl is beautiful. This might be an upgrade to my current copy, to be honest. So I'm going to have to double check that one against my existing copy. It's a really good jazz record. This one I was surprised, pretty valuable. I think it was north of $30. I'll have to double check when I run the numbers at the bottom of the screen, but we got Legrand Jazz on Columbia with 31 of America's Greatest Jazzmen featuring Miles Davis. And maybe that's part of the reason why this one's a bit more valuable. It's got some iconic jazz musicians on this record with him. This is on Columbia 6i, VG Plus condition on this one. Really nice shape. So I'm going to need to listen to this one. All right, so next jazz record. This one was pretty cool. Art Farmer, Benny Golson, Jazz Tet, Here and Now, featuring Tonk, Rue Prevail, Richie's Dilemma, Whisper Not, Just in Time, Ruby My Dear, In Love in Vain, and Sonny's Back. This one will be a keeper. I'm going to hang on to this one. Original plastic inner sleeve on the Charcoal Mercury label. This one was VG Plus. So that one's going to be a keeper. And then I have to check my existing version of this, but this is a stereo copy of Ahmad Jamal's Happy Moods. I do have a copy of this. I think it might be mono. Original inner sleeve. It's on the blue Argo label. And vinyl is beautiful, beautiful condition. VG Plus, near mint minus. So that is a great pickup. This was a good one. I have a copy of this already, but I'm going to need to cross-check it with this one. But this is Thelonious Monk Crisscross. For those of you who've been watching all the videos, this one came up at an estate sale, and the records were all like 50 cents each. And Doug, who's one of my friendly competitor record diggers, he got this one out of a bin of records. I offered to buy it from him, but he didn't want to do it. So I finally got my own estate sale copy, even though I already have a copy of this that I may have bought from the record store. This one's on a Columbia 2i, and it's in just beautiful condition, probably VG Plus condition. Really, really nice high gloss copy. I need to get an inner sleeve for that, as many of you cringe while I move the record in and out of the cardboard. Another estate sale pickup. Couldn't believe this one, just a couple of bucks. It's a little dirty, but we've got a stereo copy of Miles Davis' Sketches of Spain. I'll put down at the bottom what version this is, if it's an early version or a later repress. But it's on a Columbia 6i, and it is pretty much VG plus, super high gloss, just a couple of scuffs and minor scratches. But this one looks like a really good copy. I'm going to have to check it against my existing copy and see what it's looking like. I'm going to stop at Homer's today and get some real record sleeves because these old plastic ones I can't stand. But I always keep the original sleeve if I have it so that the record has all the original components. But yeah, Miles Davis, Sketches of Spain. Again, I have a copy of it. I can't remember if it's mono or stereo. It's been a minute since I listened to it. I picked up that copy at Canesville Collectibles, and this one from an estate sale. And then we've got a couple Jerry Mulligan records. I mean, not shocked that these aren't terribly valuable, but these are really well-made albums, album covers. Jerry Mulligan, if you can't beat him, join him. But like, this is like a pop-up book. Check that out. Just like really well made. And then these are all in just pristine condition. A little dirty. Actually, more VG plus on this one, to be honest. They must have played this one quite a bit at the house. So that one's a keeper. I like my Jerry Mulligan. And then there's another one here that I got. Butterfly with Hiccups. This is on the Limelight label. But just really beautiful construction of these record covers. Really nice stereo copy. VG plus on this one as well. And then a couple of the records I was most excited to get, these last two. Doug got me again at another estate sale. I did it in the video that I did about the Jesus and Mary Chain EP that I bought from Doug. He picked up this record at the estate sale and wouldn't sell it to me. I had picked up a really good record at that estate sale, so I was pretty satisfied. So I finally got Charlie Mingus, Tijuana Moods. This is a really nice stereo copy. I've listened to this all week long. That's on RCA Victor, high gloss, VG plus, near mint minus condition. Just a really nice copy. 1962 on that one. And then the big winner, when I saw this was at a different estate sale. Oh gosh, that's right. These are two different estate sales. When I saw this one, first of all, I was really surprised that nobody had gone through the records. This estate sale, I think the people didn't really show that there were records in the listing. And I went in and got a bunch of clothes, some military stuff. I went through all the closets. There were some of my vintage clothing competitors there getting stuff. And probably 30 minutes after the estate sale started, I saw the records in this room where a bunch of electronics were. I'm like, oh, I'll take a look. It didn't look very promising. But some of those, the Miles Davis, the Thelonious Monk Crisscross, those records were there. And then I saw this one and I'm like, I know this one is really good, even though I didn't recognize any of the names. But this is Giordano Jazz Technique, coordinated by Leah Darwin. This is on Orion Records, and this one's pretty good. I think this one is worth between $80 and $90. I'll put that information down at the bottom. It does have this original insert with it, and then the original album sleeve, and then our vinyl's on this blue Orion Records label, and the record is near mint, if not mint. It is just a beautiful copy. So I need to give this one a listen. I haven't listened to it yet, and to sort of ascertain what it is, what I think, how I think it fits in my collection, and then go from there. But really happy to see this one, especially 30 minutes after the estate sale started, to be able to get some really iconic jazz records, Miles Davis, Thelonious Monk, this record, without any other vinyl competitors going in there and taking it all. This estate sale where this jazz record would also had a bunch of 8-tracks that were still in their boxes. These were club copies mostly. And we've got Electric Light Orchestra. I mean, these labels are in beautiful condition. These were stored in really nice condition, so there's not a bunch of wear on them. Supertramp, Breakfast in America, That one's pretty cool. I've got this Underground Pink Floyd, Jake Holmes, Them, Kim Fowley, The Chocolate Watch Band compilation 8-track. These I think I'm going to take to Homer's just for a quick flip, try to get my money back. I don't really sell 8-tracks very well at Lost, and I don't feel like listing these online, so I'll just sell these probably to Homer's, and so they can have some good stuff on the 8-track. Janis Joplin's Pearl. And then we've got Eagles Hotel California. The Knack, Get the Knack. And then we've got Chic, Risque. All this is from Columbia House. Bob Dylan, Slow Train Coming. Still in the original box. And then we've got Foreigner, Head Games. Again, in the original box. I also got Blondie, Parallel Lines, and I did hang on to that one, and I put it in the shop. I thought, you know, there's more likelihood that a Blondie fan would come through and want to grab that on 8-track. I have a bunch of CDs here. It's all like hair bands, Scorpions, some 80s stuff, but not like the 80s that we all want. Depeche Mode, New Order, all of that kind of stuff. Some of these were from a estate sale from the flea market. I bought a whole rack of cassettes, $1 a piece from the flea market, and pulled out the best ones either to resell or to keep. There was a New Order Substance cassette in that lot, and I hung on to that one. Other than that, this is all like Poison, Scorpions, White Snake, Bon Jovi, you know, all that kind of stuff. No real amazing 90s stuff, nothing like that at all. So let me know in the comments if I missed anything in the flip through, but this was a pretty big comprehensive look at a couple of sales that are all adding up to a handful of records that I'll take to Lost, a bunch that I'm going to take to Homer's, and of course some jazz records that are going to be added to my collection. So I think that'll do it for this one. Thanks for watching, everyone, and I'll see you in the next Vinyl Haul video.